People podcast of the DMV. It's not about you. It's not about me. It's about we and God we trust. Sir Rod and Lady Z. PTP.
Positive thinking people. Good evening, welcome. It is Motivation Monday. I'm your host, Rodney Grimes. Here we are on the People's Talk Show podcast. I am coming to you with some conversation, hopefully to get you going and get you thinking, and we make changes. My topic today is the power of the people. The power of the people. And actually, I got a very, very good friend of mine that's going to be joining me. He's not just a friend, but he's also the host of the Boo Joe Show, the Boo Jones Show, also the Man in the Mirror. He's the creator of the Man in the Mirror, along with his co-host, partner, Nate Jenkins. They come on every last Thursday of the month. And these guys, man, they are some powerful brothers. That's very, very good friends of mine. And so I grabbed Boo just so he was making a phone call, calling in and just checking on me. I said, Boo, why don't you just jump in on the show with me today? So guess what he said? He said, okay, and guess what? There he is. Mr. Boo Jones. What's happening, baby?
What's up, family?
How you doing, man?
Man, it's always a pleasure, man. Doing well.
Yeah, well, bro, you know how we do, man. We try to make things happen, man. We be on our grind at the same time.
Yes, sir. Kindred spirits.
You already know, bro. I appreciate you. First of all, I was just telling the people tuning in that you just called because that's what we do. We call it and check on each other. And he called. He would say, "This is just a check-in call," and I was like, "My man." And a lot of times, if I'm just coming on, if I got some brothers that I know got some powerful conversation, man, I definitely would jump on and ask them to come in. And so I appreciate you accepting that at a short notice, man, because man, you be having some powerful conversations, man, and the things that y'all do on the Man in the Mirror, man, be powerful too. How's the Man in the Mirror doing?
Oh well, we in process with new studio, so that's one of the biggest issues, man. We already ready to do our thing. We already got the shows together. That's not a thing, but just the studio,
right? Yeah, as me personally, I'm still. I can't talk about everything that I'm doing. I'm just being obedient and letting God do His work. And very soon, real soon, I'll be like, I told y'all what I was doing. This is what's up, and then I'll be able to make some moves. But until then, I'm kind of still in hiatus as far as the studio is concerned.
Yeah.
But the conversation, man, is the power of the people, man. And what made me think about that is this. I was at a networking event that definitely, man, the next one you need to come out, man. Brother who I'm networking with right now, it is Paul the Connector. And his other networking individuals, Kadisi, and Medea. I keep forgetting Medea's last name, but she probably going. She don't know me like that.
Mm-hmm.
Still might throw a rock at me, being that I be calling out her first name, and I think it's Logan. I think that's what it is. Medea Logan. I'm almost sure. But anyway, what I wanted to do is just kind of just have some little, conversation, man. Do people really understand the power that they possess? Now, you'll be the one person that I know if I even bring it up and talk about it on the spiritual level, that's one thing. But I'm talking right now before I go into the spiritual level, I want to go into the fact of talking about the power of the people individually as they move on a day-to-day basis in their communities, on their jobs, and things of that. I don't know what Boo did, but I just lost him, and hopefully he'll come back in there if something happened. But it's all about us using the power that we possess. Okay, and that's so important. It's so important for us to do that. So me, I think about the power that I possess as a person, and so uh, it's funny how things that happen with people, man, and they don't understand the power they possess. What's your take on the power that people possess individually?
If you look at a rope, if you look at how a rope is constructed, a rope is more stronger when it's entwined with other rope. Um, so it's definitely in numbers that we got power, man. Um, when you was talking about this topic, I was thinking back in 1990, man. I was on vacation, so these guys, they were the Nation of Islam dudes, and they wasn't getting their kosher meals, they wasn't getting their Ramadan practices being met, and man, they did a massive set down, and the people who was in charge of the vacation spot, uh, man, they had to go get their head guy. So and so they can negotiate.
Right.
And so when it was done, I went up to the guy who was in charge of the Nation of Islam at that place, right? And I said, man, that was a powerful demonstration. He said, you never forget, man, that there's power in numbers.
And that's what's important for us to understand. That's why a lot of times when I be trying to tell people, even with the podcast, I ask people to go to subscribe on YouTube. The more people we get to subscribe, the more powerful we become. The more opportunities we have for one another, and yes, for the podcast, people to people. It's a way that I can monetize, and I'm still going to work on all that. But I really want the people to come together. And one of the things that I noticed in some of the inner communities, we have a tendency not to want to come out in groups and say, hey, we want to see you win. We want to be there to support you. On most of my flyers and things of that nature, don't nobody have to call and ask me. I put people on my flyers, whether they talk to me or not. I talk about people, podcasts and shows and things of that nature without having to ask me. You know why? Because I'm a networker and I'm a person that understands that when we collaborate together, we succeed.
You're one of the few people I know, Rodney, that endorse other people's whatever their project or mission is. If it's positive, you would give them a verbal endorsement without them asking.
Yeah,
and we need more of that, because we don't necessarily need the biggest likes or shares or all that, but we need to empower and what you call that, to give inspiration to one another.
Yes, that's so important that we do that. One of the things that I noticed over the and here, and I pay attention from different times and spaces where we are and how we move. I remember back in the 70s and 80s, we had issues with drug problems coming through our community, which was done on purpose at that time. And what we found out was when we collectively came together, we was able to stop certain things in certain areas. Back then, we used to have a lot of leaders to step in and bring the people together so that they could show the power of the people.
Now, yeah, good.
So where we at right now, it's this individual movement among people that they don't understand that you don't win that way. You cannot win a war if you don't have an army. You
That's
can't
right.
win a game if you just got the quarterback and no players. You need a wide receiver, a center, a
You need
tight
a
end.
line. Yeah.
You need your line.
You need matter of fact, you need every piece.
That's right.
And you need some backups.
And you need some backup. Somebody get hurt, somebody got to step in.
Come on, man. Come on, man.
So we as individuals, we got to understand when we are where we are right now, it's the power of the people that makes a difference. Now, this is the downfall. A lot of people in certain areas, and that's the name of my show, People to People. And my slogan is people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I love that slogan because of what it means and what it stands for. People to people, be you and them being whoever you want them to be. The power you possess, the power I possess, and the power we possess together. And when we do this and come together, we become positive thinking people. I would never pull away from that. I believe in that 100%.
It's definitely a good slogan. It's definitely powerful.
And where we are right now, everything that we've been doing and how we're going about things is so important for us to continue to support each other. Some people may know and some people may not. They don't know that I was a co-host with you on Man in the Mirror. That I got.
Yeah, definitely still a part of the family, even though you're not on the platform like you was. But they can go back and check out some People to People, some Beltway, some what was that? A Blaze, and they can see you on there.
Yeah, and I still feel. I'm just in hiatus right now,
right?
Because I got a lot of things that's going on. But I can honestly say that it's important for people to understand the power that they possess. Now, let's change direction a little bit. Let's talk on the spiritual note.
Okay.
What power do people possess spiritually?
Just like
inner spirit.
Just like, if we all on one accord praying about something. If we making that supplements known to God and we're on the same accord, it gives more effectiveness to it.
Yeah.
It's just a spiritual principle. Just when you come together, they talk about we talk about spiritual things. When Joshua them walked around the walls of Jericho, he told them all to shout at the same time, and he didn't walk around there by himself. It was a multitude of them that walked around there.
That's right.
It may not be a legion, but it was enough. And they was obedient. And they was on one accord.
And by being that way, the point gets...
And it really don't take much. Like if 10 people start doing something positive together, it'll catch on.
Yeah.
If you just take 10, 11 people, 12 people, it's been proven that it will catch on.
I'm so excited about, what God has in store for me. Like I said, we've been struggling with something, but it's in God's time and not ours. But collectively, I've been using the power that I possess to stay grounded, focused, and continue to push the People to People podcast. Because to me, I know that this is ordained by God. What I'm saying to many people who may just be joining in, we got to get together and start possessing this power together. I'm talking about, when we talk about when they do a rally or they do a march or whatever.
Exactly.
What I'm saying is we come together as a group, we're more powerful, and they pay attention.
Like right now, when you're doing God's will, you're doing it intentionally. You're doing it intentionally. Like I intentionally wore this hat, right? For example, I'm a Duke fan, right? But I'm more of a God fan than I'm a Duke fan. You understand where I'm going with it?
Right.
But as a Duke fan, you can see another Duke fan, and y'all feel like family.
Yeah. Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah.
You could be at a restaurant or something, and both of y'all got on y'all Duke wear, and you say, man, and you feel a sense of pride.
You feel that connection.
A connection.
I wore my one of my Marine Corps shirts yesterday, and as I was getting out of the car and I was going into the store, the brother, he started chanting to me, and as we say to one another, simplify, and then hoorah. And he did that, and I turned around, and that's again the power of people. See, now, believe it or not, when he did that, he empowered me a little more while I was walking.
Come on, man.
Made me feel that connection as a Marine. There go another Marine, and I was excited about that. Now, what I'm saying, I'm trying to get the people to understand is, I want the people to know that in order for us to move forward and to be a blessing to others, we have to get to this point of understanding our power and utilize it. I want people, when you see the People Podcast, go to YouTube and subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything. Let me tell you something. And I can try to talk in subliminal messages, but we got people of some origin that don't even like each other sometimes, but they will support one another to keep them in a position to to be able to manipulate the situation.
So like, you know, and I don't want everybody to understand, because I'm not a religious guy. I'm a guy who believes that Christ Jesus is the Messiah. So you might not understand that unless, you know, because you've been put over there with that religious stuff. But if you understand what I'm saying, first you got to have that spirit, because even the wicked stick together.
Come on, man. Come on.
Because even the wicked have legions.
Yes.
And they empower each other.
As
the wicked do it, because it's a spiritual principle. It has nothing to do with whatever cause it is. It's a spiritual principle.
Yes.
And it works.
And believe it or not, that's why they tell you sometimes, they say you got to be very careful what you do spiritually, because as you know, when demons come, they don't come one, two.
They come in packs.
They come, I mean, it'd be thousands of them.
Have you ever seen a rat, a whole lot of rats? They be on top of each other and they won't hurt each other.
I know.
You see a snake pit, you see a whole bunch of snakes in there, but you fall in there.
Everybody bite, get bit. You get bit, but they can all get in there. And believe it or not, because of the presence of so many of them, what happens is you see the power that you possess. It's the power they possess, and that's what it's all about.
And we as trying to do the right thing today, we need to have that same principle. Yes. We need to have it, man, and all the backbiting, and that ain't of the right spirit.
Well, you know what really gets me, and I know you remember this, brother. You remember Petey Green?
Yeah.
Okay. This brother used to come on every Sunday, man. This was back when people didn't hardly watch TV.
Don't want no tears, don't want no lies, and furthermore, don't want no alibi.
You know, and he would come on and he would talk straight up conversation. And one of the things that I remember as a young child, I remember how he used to just be straightforward, and it was all about giving people an understanding of how to conduct themselves, how to move as a unit, family, and so forth and so on. And he would talk about any and everything. Yeah. And I take great pride in, several times I had some people come to me and say, man, you know you remind me of? I said, what's that? They said, Petey Green. And I said, man, that's an honor. Now,
I used to watch him as a kid all the time.
What really excites me is for us to, when we can share the knowledge, just like you do on Man in the Mirror. Every time that y'all on there, man, y'all conversation is so powerful, the knowledge and stuff that y'all done had lawyers, doctors.
And you as well.
Yeah. And I mean, it was always a powerful thing. But again, what happens is when we utilize our power and we do it properly as people, we can make change. Yeah. Now, right now, there's a power struggle, I think, physically, mentally, and spiritually in this country right now. And the people of the country and the people in the community got to understand what kind of power they really, really possess, because it's all in the mind, how you think. See, if you find where you walking around and scared and afraid to make power moves, then you ain't gonna make none. Let me tell you something. I shout out to the pastor Nestor. He said, "You confess with your mouth, you say, and you confess you're a winner. You confess that you are going to succeed." And what happens is you put that in the atmosphere.
See, these are spiritual principles.
And that's what it's all about. People have to understand the power they possess, utilize it in a way that is going to change things. Let me tell you something. Excuse me. Me and my wife, whenever we start going through marital problems, what we do, we bring it to the forefront. The power she possessed, the power I possess, we put it right there in the middle. And then we converse and talk about it. And we become so powerful from that, because now instead of us being separate entities, we actually just came together, even though we was having differences. And then what we do, we find ourselves getting stronger and stronger and stronger. And this here, you know, and I'm not, you know, I use her as an example because I watch how we grow, understanding our different powers, and we got to get that with each other.
Yeah, and see, if we all on the same team, acceptance is the key. Are we trying to, you know, I'm talking about just as people. Do we want the team to win, or do you want to win?
Come on now, talk to me.
See, that's what we had to ask, man. That's why when we had Lucky on there, man, it meant so much to me when we had Lucky that time on there, because I played on that team, man, and that was one of the most defining moments in my life. I was a kid, but it stuck with me because the unity in the team. It overrided everything, and it was a whole lot of egos on them teams.
But you know what? Lucky used to tune in to the power of each individual's skills.
Yeah.
Right? And then he collectively get all those young guys, which I was one as well. And we had many men like him that came through Old Town Alexandria, man, that are heroes in our life, man. But
what set Lucky apart and the people who was under him is that, you know, it had to be God-given, man, because this guy was coaching and came up with a system that produced nothing but championships. And people don't understand when I say that the opposition was great. There were some great teams during those periods.
But
and had some great coaches.
But do you know where Lucky targeted? It was the power he possessed to instill in those young guys like yourself that you were winners.
Yeah, see that, and that's the key right there. That we bought in to what he was selling. Yes. He was selling, man. He took your determination and fine-tuned it.
Yes.
That you be proud to play whatever position you play, because we're gonna reap the spoils together. Nobody greater than nobody else. You can score on the touchdowns, but when you score, it's like we score.
Everybody.
Yeah. Because I remember, man, people playing positions like I had to mention, you know, Victor Thompson. Vic plays center. You know, my people's Victor Thompson plays center, man. And I never seen anyone so proud to be a center than this guy.
And he played his part.
Yeah.
And that gave him that power.
Yes. He was excited though about being a center.
And that's what it's all about.
Yeah.
You have to be excited about your position. You have to be excited about what you're doing. For everybody just tuning in, my name's Rodney Grimes. This is the People to People podcast. This is the People's Talk Show podcast. Man, I am so excited and happy to have my friend, also the host of Man in the Mirror, the host of the Boo Jones Show, and he also in the music business. He do all kind of stuff. This brother here, man, Boo Jones, man, is a homeboy. We grew up in Alexandria, Virginia. As both of us have traveled different places and known by many people, and most of the people know us as entrepreneurs right now. They know we out here making things happen. So again, it's a pleasure to have you sit in with me and we have this conversation. I just want people to understand something. This journey that I'm on right now is all about us getting ourselves to the position where we win. And we win by understanding the power that we possess. We get to a point where we actually know how to channel the power. I'm telling you what I know, what I'm feeling right now, what God been doing with me since 2019. I picked up the phone and came in and I just started talking. And God started sending people in to talk with me on Facebook Live. What happened is then I ended up starting a podcast and didn't even know that I was doing it. But what happened with the people, I became powerful. I became powerful within myself, not over anybody, but I became powerful within myself to build my confidence that I could do this.
You know, and it's funny, like, you know, we always try to get credit. You know, we say we should always get credit where credit is due. I started Man in the Mirror at my home in the living room in 2008. And it was just a man's rap, and all we do would come there once a month, and all of us get together. I would go buy some food, and we would just rap, and we had the mirror because I learned that from Reggie and them, Reggie Williams and them. So you take yourself to the mirror and give yourself some positive affirmation, tell yourself the truth about yourself. And so that's how I got the name Man in the Mirror. And then as I did the go-go thing, I started being invited on people podcasts and platforms, right? So I went on to Focus Field platform, who was also later on became a Man in the Mirror guy for a while. And then I said, I was just talking about the Man in the Mirror at the house. And then we said, well, why don't we do a segment? Why don't we do a segment, you know, of Man in the Mirror once a month on that platform?
Right.
And it just grew. And then I had you on there. You had me on your platform, and then I had you back on that one. And took off from there with us.
As we know, man, it's all about us creating power to help one another, man, and move forward. I'm always excited about trying to share information, trying to empower myself spiritually, mentally, and physically. And I know that it's all about each one of us trying to do the right thing to help one another. And so, to me, it is very, very important that we understand the power we possess and know what to do with it. I saw the power in my house yesterday with all my family members. I had pretty much all my kids with me yesterday, and
great,
and half of my grandchildren. And as I walked through the house, I knew that I was the king lion in there.
Yeah,
I knew it. I didn't have to roar. I didn't have to say nothing. I just knew it. Now,
that was your position.
That's my position.
Yeah.
But see, what I realized while I was sitting there and I was smiling, I was saying, look at how powerful we are together.
And I like to say this though, Rodney, and people who have evil intentions, they might want to help you for one reason, but God will turn it around for another reason.
Yeah.
So you're gonna have people who help you along the way that don't really have your best interest in heart, but God gonna use them as a tool.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah, because he know your heart.
And that's why, you know something, I don't stress. I want people to understand. I want them to go subscribe on YouTube. I want them to help me move forward. I need their help. I need the power that they possess. I need
Yeah.
the power to move forward, because I'm gonna tell you something. I got an objective, and this objective is not just involving me. It's involving all of us. Now, one of the things that I've been toying with and not understanding, but I don't claim religion. I'm a true believer in one creator. I'm a true believer. And let me say this. I don't believe everything in the Bible, because I know that we got men who think they're smarter than God, and they would try to tamper with it. I know that's just the nature of man. But I know the power of God, that I continue to read the Bible, because God gives me the knowledge and the power and the discernment to understand what he wants me to know.
The difference, that's right.
Yeah, right? So in this process, when I want people to get out of this message, is that you have a power within you that when you utilize it, it changes things.
That's
I'm
right.
telling you what I know.
Well, one thing I definitely believe said, through love and kindness have I drawn thee. So, like, even the ones who not on board or trying to unify, that the love and kindness that you show, that we show to those, that's what break the yoke.
Yes.
That's what break the hard heart.
Yeah.
You know, and a lot of times they're misinterpreted and thinking that you soft or you gullible or you green.
Yeah.
But nah, man, I done seen you coming 1,000 miles.
Yeah.
I'm just practicing another spiritual principle, because the sun shine on everybody.
Come on, bro. Sometimes it's even with your enemies, you let them just come on in.
Yeah.
Come on in.
I mean, because look, Christ knew who Judas was.
Yeah.
He knew he was, but he served the purpose. Without Judas, no salvation.
And we all got to understand in our own position how we move. It's not you being better than me being better than you, but it's taking ourselves together and bringing the stuff to the table. I want to say something, because you know my wife she's always close by, always watching, and I have been talking to her about our relationship on some things. It's so powerful, man, that you know when a person show you how much they love you, the power that they give you. Me, I figured that was just God revealing something to me through my wife, and it made me stronger. It made me stronger in understanding what I need to do, about my focus, and staying on the right track. And I thought about the more she concentrated on putting out this energy that was going to affect both of us, I think she realized, and I'm sure she knows, the power that she possesses in a relationship.
Yeah.
That's what all of us have to do, even in business. We got to get to a point where we understand the power that we bring to the table.
Yeah.
And when we do this, it makes a difference.
That's a self-defeating mindset that really, you know, you said it earlier. I wanted to piggyback on what you were talking about earlier, is that what vision we have of ourselves. You know, it don't have to be arrogance to be confident.
Right.
You know, when you know who you are and you know your purpose, a lot of times people think it's arrogance.
Right.
Nah, I know what my purpose is.
Come on now.
I know who I am now today.
Yes.
I know what I was called for. I know my calling. Like, if you tell me what you've been through, I can tell you what your calling is. Because all the callings is the same principle. Now, how you do it is different, but our calling is the same. And that's to love and unify one another and then enlighten one another and take on the burdens of one another. Love is the calling.
And you know something? A lot of people may not understand that. We talking people who promote racism and negative energy and stuff like that. They may not understand, but that's what God put in us. Each one of us have it. I don't care who it is. It's somebody that can touch your heart to make you want to just calm down or you want to do the right thing. Every last one, even the meanest dog, man, sometimes it's just this one little thing that'll come around and calm that dog down, or whether it's a horse or whatever the case may be. People got to understand that during our process, understanding the power that we possess and the power we put into one another and help one another, that we create a whirlpool of success. Let me tell you, I network with a lot of people who, like you say they want to see me succeed, but they don't really want to see me succeed because they're not coming to pushing me like I'm pushing them. I did a podcast a few days ago, meeting people where they are.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, meet people where they are.
You meet them where they are.
What you said, some people you see them coming along. You see
them,
yeah, man. You already know that he a sucker or she a sucker coming at you with some nonsense. Yeah. But because of your positive energy, you'll say, "Yo, let them come on. Let them come on."
Well, see that's the first thing. You know, do you have a relationship with so-called God, or you just playing religion? Like a relationship with the source, which is God. Man, it's gonna produce the same character after a while. He gonna do the work on the inside out. It's gonna start to show after a while, and everybody has their own time.
Yeah.
Like even in the midst of when I was going through things, I knew he was there.
Yeah.
So everybody got their own times, schedule. But first of all, I gotta get connected to the source. If I ain't plugged in, I ain't getting no power.
Yeah. Well, you know what? In a couple more weeks, man, because things are really starting to fall through, and I'm excited to see what God got prepared for me, because I'm gonna continue to push the People to People podcast. I'm gonna continue to be a community service activist. I'm gonna continue to be a man that don't mind talking about the Holy Spirit.
That's right.
Continue to be a good husband and a good father, a good grandfather. I'm going, God is, he got some things for me that's, that I got to work on. And it's the other thing when I talk about the power. And understand that there's power in negativity too.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of people don't understand it. I see it, and I'm going to talk specific. I know some females, right? I just want to talk about this. Is some past stuff that whenever they wanted something, it was okay for them to flirt. But whenever I put demands on them, it became a problem.
Yeah.
Right? Now, and I'm just using this as a tactic, not to bring up no negative or disrespect. But the thing that bothered me was they knew I possessed a certain power to get stuff done. So what did they wanted to do? They used the power of them, their physical, right? To lure. And people do this all the time, male and female. So I'm not just talking about these individuals, but I'm talking about this experience. And I realized that a lot of times they took the power and used it in the wrong way.
We talked about that, about the demons.
Yeah.
It's the same concept. But their intention, it's something, that's been written that says, man, that the children of light come into the light, that their evil deeds may be exposed, right? And so they can get better and preserve their own souls, right? Mm-hmm. And then it said, but the children of darkness, they stay in the darkness because they don't want the light, and they want to continue to do the things that are evil because they meant to do them.
Yeah.
So it's a difference. Now the common denominator is all sin. Everybody done did some wrong.
Yeah.
But is that the intentions of their heart? Like some are the snakes in that snake pit.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, and then you got those who don't know how to do well yet, but their heart ain't into doing the evil.
Yeah.
So everybody got their own cross to bear in a sense.
And that's the one thing that I want anyone who listen to this message understand. The power you possess, take it and put it in where you use it in a positive way. Make it so that it's a blessing for somebody else. Don't make it where it's only what you want to get out of it. 90% of people, when they come together, they want something from that other person. I don't care whether it's a man, woman, man, somebody. You know, your two little kids, one kid over there playing in the yard, he got the ball, and the other kid over there, he don't have no ball. When he look over there, he ain't really thinking about making friends with that kid.
You want to play with that ball.
So what he gonna do? He got to do what he got to do to get over there, get his hands on that ball.
Yeah.
Now people the same way. But then what you realize, you get the two kids. You got the one that got the ball, and you got the other one that saw the ball and wanted it. Now they became buddies.
Yeah.
Right? So now you got the other kids moving on the block. Where the power at? The power is with the two that got the ball. And what they do, they start to lure. The rest of them come in, and before you know it, they got a little team. They came together. And they start to understand the power that they possess with each other. And sometimes they might even just really realize that the power was in the ball in the very beginning. It brought all of them together.
Yeah, so it don't matter how it happened. It matters what we do with it when it happened.
Right.
So it does matter in the sense of to encourage one another.
Yes.
Let me say that. So if the person helped you, please be thankful.
Yes.
And encourage that person. Let them know that you're grateful, right? But then now what are we going to do with the blessing? Are we going to bury it or are we going to share it with others?
Yeah. And that's important for people to know. Let me say this. Many of us don't, if you don't know it, as you become you get older and you get wiser, you'll start to realize that you reap what you sow. Whatever you put out gonna come back to you. And if you putting out love and an open heart of goodwill, guess what? It's gonna come back. If you being mean and trifling and deceitful, you're gonna find you struggling all the time. You're gonna be struggling through a lot of crap, no matter what. Sometimes you're going to be so bad, you're going to want to kill yourself. You're going to be crying and think the whole world against you. That's because you got to straighten up. You got to get the power in the right position, moving in the right position in order for the right entities to come back to you. When I say people to people, you got to get with the right people for you to move in a direction that's satisfying to you. If you want to be a bank robber, then run with thugs. Run with the people who want to steal and rob. If you want to be a doctor, then go around the people that's trying to go to school and get knowledge and that want to help people. You want to be a pastor? Get in the congregation and learn the word. Get into the Bible and learn the word. Get into the Holy Spirit, learn the word. But when you do all of this, you got to know that the power that you possess, you got to use it in a manner that is going to benefit you. Because not all power is good power. Some power is that negative power. And that negative power will destroy you. But what I'm looking at and what I'm hoping and praying for, and that is for us to unite at a level that any one of us, not just Rodney Grimes, not just Boo Jones, I'm talking about any one of us that's out there trying to do something in a positive way, help them, push them, encourage them, get rid of that hate and that jealousy.
And here's the hit, man. Acceptance is the key. I might not agree with everything Rodney believe in. He might not agree with everything I believe in. But we know where our heart's at. See, that's the key. I believe God will reveal to everybody at their own time.
Yeah.
You know, even myself.
Yeah.
So I don't know everything. I just believe. When it comes to God, I believe everything. So I'm working on building my faith. You know, but it comes with action. It comes with action.
It does. Many of us who are here struggling is somebody who may just got in on the program. Understand the power that you possess, the power that God put in us. We all have it. Learn how to use it to benefit your desires and to fulfill your dreams. When you talk about a relationship, put the power of love in it. Put the power of submission in it. Put the power of gratitude in it. And I'm going to tell you something. The power will start to manifest in a way that it will blow your mind. When we individuals who are out here networking and trying to move forward, understand this. You need everyone to come to your support. You could be a newspaper man and have the news all in this one paper. But if you ain't got nobody to buy the paper, it don't mean nothing. You got to think about where we are. I don't like to be so direct, and I don't want to disrespect anybody or make people think that I'm just talking the truth where we are today. The power we have, we're not using it right. And what's happening is some individuals is trying to take certain powers away from individuals. But we got to be thinking, come together collectively. Let's make a difference so that we'll be able to withstand anything that's coming. Our children, our grandchildren, they are the future. I do know this. God didn't put man on here just for a little while. He put us on here for a long time. And most of us, got to understand what our purpose is as we move forward. It's for us to teach each other, to love one another, not to kill and destroy. Because I do not know anybody who really, really wants to be unhappy. I don't know anybody who really wants to endure pain, mentally, physically, or spiritually. And in that saying, all I can just tell you, understand the power that you possess and utilize it, and let it be something that you use in a way. If you have a problem, I must speak on this. One of my grandchildren, right, has a tendency to take everything lightly. But what I wanted to do, I wanted to see when she's around me, I have a certain power that you can't mess with. Not because I'm a grandfather, not because I'm older or powerful than she is. That's because the power that I possess is something that will help her and protect her. And when I say this, the one thing that gets me is, like many of us, when you don't understand, you don't see the power that you possess in your own right. With my grandchild don't realize that the power she possesses, she can take that and really, really move it in a direction where it will just expand. So I say that to individuals in relationships. If you're in a marriage and you're struggling, take the positive power that you possess and dump it into your relationship, because it'll grow, it'll expand. If your child got a dream, one of my granddaughters, she can draw, right? You know what I do? Every now and then I buy her some pencils and paint and a book to draw in. I give her power. We need to do that with each other. Every person that knows about People to People, please, I ask them to go to subscribe on YouTube. It don't cost you nothing. And if you don't like me, go subscribe anyway. Maybe you can, let me tell you something.
Yeah.
A lot of times, when you're thinking you're hurting me, you're encouraging me. And
that's one other thing, Rodney, that we have. We're not gonna give up. So
No.
that's one thing you and I got in common that I know.
Yeah.
So no matter what the other power try to do, they're not gonna stop us because this is basically is our lifestyle.
That's right.
So
That's right.
it's not hard for us to do this because this is what we do. It's who we are. So like that's why I had to learn to change my lifestyle.
Yeah.
See, when I change my lifestyle, it don't include the other nonsense from the past. It
Right.
don't include it. It's a whole different lifestyle.
Yes.
So, and this is very important that you allow somebody, if you want better, man, allow somebody to show you how to do better. Like Rodney was saying earlier, if you want to be a cook or whatever you want to be, you'll go to a chef. So if you want to change your life for the better, get with somebody who can guide you in that area.
Yes. I can tell people, let me tell you something about the podcast that we participate in. Each one of us, we do something to encourage another. As we talk about, let's talk about man in the mirror. Why is it that you talk about the mirror? Because you have to confront your own self.
Mm-hmm.
You got what we talk about. We say we deal with the elephant in the room.
The elephant in the room, and that's us.
Hey,
it's us.
And each one of us.
Yeah, if I want someone to help guide me from the negative behaviors.
Yeah.
That we may have adapted over the years.
Yeah.
So I don't need nobody to let me do it and don't say nothing to me.
Right.
I need somebody, and then I need to be accepting. If it's a fact, I need to look in the mirror.
That's right. That's right. That's what I do all the time.
Get that man
in the mirror.
Some information.
I look at Rodney Grimes. I talk about what Rodney Grimes need to do. And let me tell you something. I work on that. You know, again, me and my wife, what we work on together, we work on growing. We work on trying to team up to be better at what we do with one another. I say that because
that's another thing we got in common with our wives.
Yeah.
We got powerful teams.
Yeah.
We both. Yeah. I
already know. Hey, boo, you got a soldier with you.
I got me.
Yeah. She's always got her armor on when she with you.
Yeah, man, and vice versa. Look at you, man. Come on, man. I don't know too many like lazy. I don't know too many like that. So I said that in that area we both been blessed, man, and they've been blessed too. They've been blessed too. So we know our worth. They've been blessed too.
Yeah, for sure. Believe it or not, that's what it's all about. And understanding when we in the presence of individuals like our wives or individuals like each other, we understand that we try to bring the best out of each other. We don't agree on everything, but we can agree to disagree. And it don't have to get nasty and ugly. What we do is we'll say, yo, man, I ain't feeling that. Okay. I don't understand it. Yo. And if you don't want to understand it, then don't try. That doesn't mean that I don't want to see you succeed.
That's right. Hey, well, man, I gotta go because I haven't even went and ate yet. I'm eating a late one. But thanks for having me on People to People, man. As always, with Rodney Grimes and Lady Z. And I know what she does behind the scenes. They don't know, but I know what she does, man. Thank you, Rodney, for having me on here, man, because you giving a platform for the gift that God gave me, and that's to reach out to people, man.
Hey, man, you already know, bro, man. You a good dude, man. I appreciate you coming on, and go eat your food, man, and tell your wife I said hello, bro.
Well, can I say it? People to people. Let me say it. People to people. Power to power. Positive thinking people.
Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. My man. I appreciate you, bro.
All right, man. You too, man. Love you, man.
Love you too.
Take care.
Let me tell y'all something. That's a very, very good friend of mine. He's a good brother, man. And I get excited anytime I see one of us still continuously putting in that work. That's Boo Jones. He's the host of the Boo Jones Show. Also, he's one of the hosts of the Man in the Mirror, along with Nate Jenkins. That comes on every last Thursday of the month. I'm very, very proud of these guys, man. We not selling dope. We selling hope. We selling love and understanding support to one another. We ain't coming in there downplaying each other. We coming in lifting each other up. And that's what's so powerful about what's going on with us. Understand the power that the people possess. Understand your power. Make that power come together. And don't go out trying to use people and abuse people. You want something to happen good for you? Be good to others. Be good to people. I'm telling you, the way that God got this world set up, you're going to reap what you sow. I don't care what you think. You can think you're the prettiest thing walking on the earth. Guess what? Let me tell you, you could be just a dressed up trash can. You could be the most handsome brother out here, you know, walking around with your diamonds and pearls and nice car, whatever. Don't mean that you the king of the valley. I'm going to tell you something. With all and where it really counts is the power that you possess. So I just want you to know that I love you. Robert Bradley, he said, Black people are under curse because they turn over the Messiah to be crucified. That's why we're allowed to go back into slavery. That's why there's no unity. You know, I'm gonna be honest with you, man. We got, as a Black race, we got a lot of work to do. We do. And sometimes it takes somebody to say it. You know, it is what it is. You know, we got many people who have come out to help us and to really want to see us succeed. I see you, Maria. How you doing? Peace and blessings, darling. You know, I just want to say thank you to all the viewers and people that has talked to me. I get phone calls, and let me tell you something. Every time I do a podcast, I get some phone call the next day. Sometimes even in the evening. And before I even forget, I want to say shout out to the TikTok family. But I want people to know, you know what? People to people is here to stay. We're not going away. We're here to stay. And I ask you, please, to go to YouTube and subscribe. Hit like. Understand, if you watch my programs, you know what? We still working on some things. I don't want to make no excuses. But I'm going to tell you something. I'm never on here talking negative. I'm never on here trying to belittle anybody. I'm always encouraging people. And this is what God put in my heart. And this is something that he tells me to do on a daily basis. It's many things I could be doing besides sitting down here looking at my face on the screen, trying to convince some people that you got the power to be whatever you want to be. I could just concentrate on myself and my relationship and the things going on around me. But the Holy Spirit tells me to do this. And let me tell you something. It's not easy. You have no idea. But I ask you, go. And anybody that you talk to that know me or know you, have them subscribe. It doesn't cost you anything, because I'm going to tell you what's going to happen. As we move forth and this thing takes off, it's like an airplane. There's a lot of seats in there. You want to fly? Come on and get on. You feel me? You want to learn how to do some things in the podcasting aspect? Whatever I know, I'm going to share with you. And we got so many people out here that's doing this. I've been doing this since 2019. There's many of people just jumping in. But let me tell you something. I was one of them, like just right there in the very beginning, especially in this area, that started doing the podcast. And all I've done is try to motivate people to come together. And I shouldn't say I'm gonna definitely say we, because Lady Z has been right there supporting me, my kids. They you know, my man, believe it or not, man, my sons have talked to me on different occasions. I got Queen Rachel, man, one of my wife's best friend, man. We talking about, man, just before I go ahead, I know I'm running over. Lynn Nelson. who passed away a few years ago, that believed in. She believed in this so much. And you know something, I still feel her spirit as she tell me, don't give up. The prophet Katrina, who prophesied that we was going to be on a big platform one day. And guess what? As far as I'm concerned, it is already in the making. We have so many people. As I see Maria, you know, people who have been supporting us from the very beginning. I just want to tell you that God is good and He's great. And guess what? He tells me, Rodney, that you're on the right track. When we moved from one location, we moved to Tyson's Corner. The man said, what's the name of the podcast? Well, when I went out there, before I got there, the name of the podcast was it was Real Talk Live with Rodney Grimes. Why do I put Rodney Grimes in there? Okay, I'm the host, but I could have said Real Talk Live and left it at that. I could have been okay with that. But what happens is Real Talk Live, a lot of people use it. But when you put your name, it becomes your entity. Follow me. So when I got out there, I started thinking, and my slogan has always been people to people, power to power, positive thinking people. I was like, you know what? I heard the Holy Spirit say, Rodney, change it to people because you want this to be for everybody. You wanted anybody that's a human being is you when you know what the definition of people is as humans, a group of people, a group of individuals come together. Hey, look at those people over there. You know, they don't say look at those dogs and rats and them. Dog and a rat is what it is. So when I thought about this, people to people, and it's amazing because I love you. I love helping you. And I love when you help me. I love when somebody pull me up. I love when somebody tell me, Rodney, you could do better. Try this or do that. Many people have stepped in and showed me support one way or another. And I do not take it for granted. Believe me. I promise you, you as my God, as my creator, as He let me move forth, so many of you will see the journey and path that He has me on and what my purpose is. People to people, power to power, positive thinking people.